The first time I saw that neon orange sticker plastered across the windshield of my John Deere tractor, I swear I thought it was a joke. Violation of HOA Rule 19C. Unauthorized agricultural equipment in public VYEW. I blinked, standing there on my 5-acre lot at the edge of a quiet cul-de-sac in our semi-rural community. Around here, folks drive pickups, haul trailers, and yeah, some even keep chickens. So a sticker on my tractor? Felt like someone slapped it on the wrong machine. But 3 days later, another one showed up, this time with a fake official notice shoved into my screen door. That's when I knew this wasn't a mistake. This was Laura Hensley, the self-proclaimed queen of our new HOA, a woman who once tried to outlaw wind chimes for excessive auditory disturbance. Laura was a force, the kind of person who'd measure your grass with a ruler and call it justice. Ever since the city shot down her fancy pool renovation, she made it her mission to refine the neighborhood. Mailbox colors had to match. Lawn flamingos were limited to 3. And now, she had new muscle. 2 rent-a-cops in navy polos, sporting neighborhood compliance officer patches and clipboards, strutting like they were auditioning for a low-budget action flick. One even rocked mirrored of VY8ers, like he'd watched too many cop shows. When I asked who gave him the right to ticket my tractor on Saw Street, they fed me some nonsense about Harper Lane being HOA-maintained infrastructure. Problem is, my deed says I own that road, right down to the gravel I laid myself a decade ago. I even named it Harper Lane after my granddad, and I pay taxes on it every year. Still, the stickers kept coming. The next one screamed, "Final warning. Vehicle subject TO tow." Now I was pissed. I marched over to Laura's pristine yard, where she was watering her fake turf. Yeah, you heard that right, and called her out. She didn't even blink. "We can't have this place looking like a farm," she sniffed, clutching her clipboard like a shield. "This isn't some backwoods county." I reminded her we're on unincorporated land, where county code allows my tractor. She just waved me off, claiming HOA bylaws trumped everything. "Look it up," she snapped. Spoiler, I did. And she was dead wrong. Laura had her little board cronies con VY and said my tractor was the apocalypse of property values. So I started documenting everything: dates, photos, their fake tickets. These officers were getting bold, patrolling my street twice a day like I was running a secret cow smuggling ring. One morning, I caught them measuring my driveway with a dollar store per tractor. Another time, they ticketed my dog's water bowl for unapproved outdoor fixtures. It wasn't just me anymore. They were targeting anyone who didn't fit Laura's suburban fantasy. That's when I realized this wasn't just annoying, it was a power grab. Laura wasn't enforcing rules. She was inventing them. I dug deeper, pulling property records, deed restrictions, and the HOA's original charter. That's when I struck gold. Harper Lane wasn't under HOA control. I owned it every inch. My tractor? Parked on Saw land, not theirs. Laura's whole operation was a sham, and I was about to turn the tables. Then, they made their fatal mistake. One Tuesday morning, a VY8er cop strutted onto my porch, clipboard in one hand, some boot to VYC in the other. "Sir, you're in violation of Code 24D. This property is subject to immobilization and tow." I raised an eyebrow. "You're going to boot a tractor?" He puffed up. "We can and we will." I pulled out my phone, hit record, and asked for his name and badge number. He squirmed. "We're private contractors, no badges. So not real cops?" I said, smirking. He didn't like that, muttering about my hostile attitude. Then Laura stormed across the cul-de-sac, VY sore on, while VYing a folder labeled Legal Authority in Comic Sans. "This man is obstructing enforcement," she barked. I pointed to my mailbox, where I'd pinned a laminated copy of my deed. "Tow something off Saw Street, Laura? Be my guest. But you're trespassing." Her face twitched like a glitching robot. "The HOA charter covers all adjacent roads," she insisted. "Not this one," I shot back. "I own it. Guess who pays for snow plowing?" She sputtered, but I wasn't done. I handed her a cease and desist letter from a real lawyer, complete with a notarized survey and a note from the sheriff confirming trespassing charges if she kept this up. Her officers started backing away, mumbling about checking with the board. Laura, though, stood there, jaw clenched, seething. "This isn't over," she hissed. "Oh, it's just getting started," I replied. "I'm coming for whoever let you play fake cop." That's when I went full detective. I requested all HOA enforcement records, only to learn our HOA was a special purpose district, making its finances semi-public. At the county clerk's office, I hit the jackpot. Laura had set up a shell company, Prime Compliance Solutions LLC, paying herself and her fake cops with HOA dues. She'd billed us due Law 9000 in 6 months for towing coordination and aesthetic audits. Even better, she'd lied to the board, claiming her officers were a city program. I found emails, invoices, and bank records pro-VYing she was scamming us. This wasn't just control, it was theft. I bided my time until the next HOA meeting. Laura showed up in a blazer, her fake cops guarding the door like it was a G7 summit. I brought a guest, a county auditor's assistant, plus my buddy Mike, an off-duty deputy. When it was my turn to speak, I plugged my laptop into the projector and laid it all out Laura's fake company, her fake tickets, her due Law 9000 side hustle. The room gasped. Laura's face went white. "This is slander," she screeched. "You're out of order." I smiled. Embezzlement's never on the agenda. Mike stood, badge VY Seibel, and asked to see the HOA's books. Laura's cops bolted mid-meeting. The board froze all payments and voted for an investigation. Laura sank in her chair, defeated, as whispers filled the room. But Laura wasn't done. 3 days later, I came home to a tow truck angled across Harper Lane, ready to haul my tractor. Laura stood on a folding chair, while VYing a folder and yelling, "It's a lawful tow." I parked, pulled out my survey, and asked the driver for paperwork. He pointed at Laura. "She says it's HOA ordered." I grinned. "She doesn't own this road." "I do." Right then, a sheriff's cruiser rolled up behind, called them from the road. Deputy Sanders stepped out and asked, "Ma'am, do you own this property?" Laura stammered, "I represent the HOA." "Not what I asked." He cut her off. "He owns it. You're trespassing." The tow guys bailed, and Laura was escorted off my land, muttering about municipal codes. I filed for a restraining order and a report for attempted theft. That night, I posted the sheriff's body cam footage online with a caption, "HOA VY Gilani tries to tow my tractor. The law wins." It went VY Rao. The HOA board stripped Laura of her title and banned her from proposing rules. But I wasn't done. The HOA claimed it was broke, yet Laura had siphoned funds. I demanded an audit through the management company, citing CIVYL code. The results were jaw-dropping. Laura ran three fake companies, billing us due Law 22,000 for nonsense like a conflict de-escalation seminar, on a fake date, February 30th. She'd scammed us on every front. I sent the EVY Denke to the county, and the board sued for restitution. Laura's assets were frozen, and she was forced to admit, on HOA letterhead, that her authority was fake. We laminated it and posted it everywhere. Then came Laura's final act. She circulated glossy flyers, her face airbrushed, pitching a community elevation plan with BHA VY or guidance and decor licenses for pumpkins. She wanted a new title, Standards Overseer. I rallied 15 neighbors, and we sued her and the HOA for fraud and negligence. Our lawyer, Rachel Tate, walked into the next meeting with a restraining order. "Laura's barred from any HOA role," she announced. Laura screamed about retaliation, but the board banned her for life. Her plan was shredded on the spot. Laura sold her house and fled, her Lexus stuffed with bins labeled compliance drafts. The neighborhood threw a farewell parade, led by my tractor decked with flamingos and fake tickets. Kids waved non-compliant sashes. Rachel handed out settlement letters. Laura watched, fuming, as we looped her house. When she peeled out, her VY sore flapping, we cheered. At a potluck that night, we toasted to freedom. The HOA rewrote its bylaws, ditching Laura's rules for one. Don't be a Laura. We started a neighbor buddy program and Tractor Day, crowning Mike the chill champion. Laura's name became a verb. Don't go full Laura. Her house sold to a couple who added a flamingo fountain. Harper Lane stayed mine, and my tractor? It's a legend now, park proud. So what do you think? Was I too harsh? Or did Laura deserve every bit of this? Should HOAs have any power over private property? If someone tried to tow your stuff, how far would you go to fight back? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're Team Tractor, and subscribe for more stories where petty meets justice.